Good afternoon, Judy Allen here, also known as Nana with Teach Me Nana. So I didn't really slide in from morning to afternoon, did I? I just slid into afternoon. So today we're making an alternative, so we don't have the right thing on the screen there because we aren't doing that right now. I forgot what I just said with Teach Me Nana, but we are using from the new kit. So at least I have my technology up and running today, which is very important because that makes life easier for me, right? And today is also our celebration of life for Ann Willis, our Grandma Ann, this weekend. So with that, we can go down the hands. We're going to make something very pretty and something she would even like herself. All right, so let's go to the hands and let's get this done. Let's do this. So on Sunday, this is what we made, Zoe and Ann, when we did our live. And this is actually from, let's see here, With Love and Gratitude, which is the September Paper Pumpkin Kit. So it came with treat bags. All right, and this is what we made on Sunday. And then it has these 3x3 cards, which are very, very pretty, right? So you can write notes. So for me, I'm going to be making some items that I can use for my friends and so people from the nursing home that do classes. So we're going to actually use these two items from the kit, all right? I literally, like I've done before, I've gone and sliced off the edges with my paper trimmer and to open the envelope. So you can see on the envelope, it's only one side is white and the other is this here, which I'll use the scraps and we'll use that later and I'll show you how to do that another day. So we're going to use this, and this is none other than taking this here and I sized it down. I sized it down to the front of a card, which is 5.5 inches. And so we'll set this here. So we're going to be making not only this, but we're also going to be making a treat bag as well. Because when I go, I had to make sure I get everybody the same thing and it looks like. So let's do the card first. All right. So I just cut off the excess here and we're going to see about using that in a minute. And I did cardstock. So this is very vanilla cardstock, which coordinates. So if you ever want to know what coordinates, all you got to do is look on back of the paper pumpkin instruction sheet and it will tell you cardstock that coordinates. Now, very vanilla was not on there, but very vanilla still coordinates, right? They just give you suggestions. So yes, I'm going to do some of this, make it a little bit easier for me today. There's blue dots in the kit that I could have used, but I'm just going to make it easier for me today. That's what it's about. It's creating and giving. And so, I don't know about you, but I've been trying to get ahead of the game, making trick-or-treat bags, because we have 155 trick-or-treaters that come by. I got that off just a little bit. I was just trying to say, but you know what? I'm not going to sweat it. I'm just going to take my scissors and trim this off right here. Not worry about it, okay? There's bigger things to worry about. All right. This I actually sized down because this was about 3.5 inches, and I trimmed it down to, just so you know, 3 inches. And then I take off the glue and the edge just right where you took that off. The top part here had adhesive glue on it, right, because it was an envelope. So I cut that off, and I just trimmed this down to size like right here. Now, one of the things I was going to do, so I was going to put this ribbon on here. This is just some scrap ribbon I have for another project, but it goes really well with this, right? So I was originally going to tuck that behind, but let's see if we can just tuck it by the front here and how this will look. No, I'm not going to like that. Okay, hold on just a second. Then this is what we get to do, which is always not something we really want to have to do, right? So actually, I'm going to take it. If you can't see it, there's a score line right here, and that's a great place to put it. This covers it mostly, and there is, if you look on the back side, there's a score line. You really can't see it right about here. So literally, if I put that on the bottom, but you can't, right? Because the leaves really look better going up here. So we're not going to worry about it. It's going to cover it. So I am just going to sit there. I should have done this first. Let's go ahead and get this down. So yes, don't give me too much grief, right? We all make mistakes, and the thing is, got a lot on my mind, right? You're celebrating someone's life, and you got people coming or phone calls and so forth and all. So mind is preoccupied, right? My mind is preoccupied, and that's okay. That's the way it should be. So don't even worry about yourself. It's like, you know what? It's the small things in life. Okay, so I already saw me just pull that up, and that's what we're going to do again. And what I'm going to do here is I need enough just to hold it on the back, right? I could easily use glue dots. I could easily use adhesive. I already got the adhesive on here. And I'm just going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to tighten it and come around. So yes, if you're just now joining, I sat there and should have done this first. But like I said, my mind is preoccupied, and that's okay. And then put it back down like that. Okay. Now, if you want to put some glue dots down or stick anything underneath there, you can. But that's going to hold it really well. All right. So yes, if you're out there, please be sure to say hello, because I tell you, that is exactly how you get in our door prizes. All right. So we're going to take now a tag. So this is going to be my leftover piece we're going to use, because we're going to make a treat bag or a gift bag. And we're going to stamp this right here with "For You." Okay. Because when I go to the nursing home and assist living places and all, we do classes and I bring them things, I make sure everything looks the same and I let them know it's for them, right? Because sometimes they get a little confused and they're not sure who it's for, right? I'm just going to stamp this in the middle. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this other tag too, because this other tag is going to go onto our gift bag. Okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp them both. Right there. And you're going to see we're going to do that in just a minute. Okay? So with this here, I'm just going to put it right here on top of this. I pulled out a little bit of gold from the kit. And we're just going to stick this gold behind here, okay? And the nice thing about leaves with this is we can sit there and arrange these any way we want to, right? That's the beauty of leaves on something like this. So that we have the gold around it. Because we don't have bling in this kit, okay? There's no bling. So we have dimensionals. So we're going to put this up on dimensionals. I'm actually going to use 3 dimensionals here, okay? And then I'm just going to use a glue dot to put the foiled stuff down. Yep. So we're going to do the same thing. So what I'm doing is when I create this one and the gift bag, right, I didn't have to add much to this. I'm just adding stuff from the kit, and I had ribbon left over from another project that I was working on, and it worked really nicely with this, so I decided to let me use it. And then the cardstock, right, I definitely had to add the cardstock. Alright. We're just going to put that down, and you can put that down with another glue dot if you want to. And then I'm just going to tuck it in here. Alright. We're just going to wrap those leaves around. I'm just going to see how we can do it any way we want. I'm just looking to see. I had it a minute ago the way I wanted it. And you can even do this to the side. It doesn't have to be directly in the center either. I just want to know I made something for them. Right? I made something for them. So you can actually use the glue dot to put that down, but I really like to do the 3D part of it. And the other thing is I'll just do that leaf down there. And these sleeves really sort of flex. So you can easily do this. So, for example, when I go, I won't put an envelope for them. I'll give this to them, right? And I could add bling if I wanted to. So here is the card, right? We just took the actual cardstock they had in there to make the card. We took the envelope, cut it open, sliced and diced it, and put it all in very vanilla. So there you have the card itself. Now we're going to take the bag that's in the kit. And we're going to use some things here. I got some gold to use as well as this. And actually, I'm going to do this first. So I wanted to make sure I got this on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the green up here. And I wanted it to go right about the edge of right here. Because it's going to look very similar then to my card. And then we're just going to trim it off, okay? So, all I'm going to do is take my adhesive again. Now, when we get to part of this, we'll use, when we use the tape runner, that is because we're going to have something in the bag, right? So, when we're going to put something in the bag, then we definitely need the heavier duty tape adhesive that's designed for dimensional projects, right? When you're going to put something in here, you're going to need something heavier just than your regular tearing tape. So, I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to trim this down. Now, I could have gone ahead and pre-did this with my paper cutter, but I didn't. Because I just want to show you, you can do it, you don't have to have the paper trimmer to do this, right? I could do it just as easily this way. Alright, so that's what that's going to look like here. And then, I have these leftover pieces. So I was really wanting a little bit smaller piece. I think that's the smallest I have. I'll have to size it down a little bit. But I'm going to do the same thing as I did in the card. I'm just going to sit up there. I could just bring it down like this here and trim it out. But that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it just same thing here. So I'm going to have to take a smidgen off the edge here. And let me just get my paper trimmer. I wasn't going to... Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can do it like this. I don't know how it's going to look, but we'll see. I really hate to get my paper trimmer out. Again. Okay, let's see how this looks. I might have to. So I want it to be a little bit smaller, right? Just like I did on the card. Now you can do it any way you want, right? It's your card, your project, so that's the main thing. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And again, I'm just coming back down. I'm going to trim just a little bit more. Now if I had a pair of long scissors, right, it'd be one swipe I could do there. Or if I wasn't so lazy, or I shouldn't say so lazy, but necessarily focused, right? I could sit there and just get my paper trimmer out and clean this up. But it's okay, right? Because sometimes we don't have everything we want with us. For example, like me, I had to wait for some blades to come in because my paper trimmer's blade was dull. So it was fraying things as I cut. So scissors can do it. You know, sometimes we don't think about, we can go back to what we did before. Alright, so that's basically what I want to do, because that's going to look like just what I did on the card itself. And I hadn't decided if I want to put any ribbon or not, but we'll see. I didn't bring any extra ribbon to do that, because I really didn't have planned on it, but I see some ribbon right there. I'll snatch from there. Because I still want to put the tag on here, just to show you what we're going to do. I'm not going to finish it up right now, but I at least want to get this part on here, because I want to be able to trim it. It's much easier for me to trim it right now. Because what will happen is we still got to put our tag on here, right? And it'll go up here like this. And we still have to put some gold on here, which we will. And then I have this here. So I'm not going to use all of this, because this is like really big comparison to the paper. So all I was going to do is just trim this off a little bit, okay? So, I mean, the leaves are outlined for you. So if you wanted to use, basically do a fussy cut around the leaf, you can. But I already know I'm just not going to use all this, right? I'm going to come right there. Because I want it just a little bit shorter, because we're making this one just a little bit different, right? It's an alternative we're making. So we're doing a little fussy cutting. Okay, so when we go to do this, we'll have both of these here, but this will be just a little bit shorter, all right? So let's go ahead and we'll get the bag put together. So we have score lines on here, so we're just folding on each of the score lines. Let me get this all out of the way for us. Okay, so we got all the score lines here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our tear and tape. So these are going to be folded over one another, right? So when I go to fold this over, you have to keep in mind what you're going to do, right? So I want this to stick really good. So when I go to do this, I can sit up here and put tear and tape here on the inside of this one. Or, let me let go of the tear and tape here a second. Or, if you take this here, so everything depends on where you're going, right? You need to know what you're doing, where you're going. Okay, so you watch this on Sunday. We set up there, and the way they have you making this is you're overlapping them, right? So when we go to do this, I'm going to go ahead and put some tear and tape on these two flaps on the inside, the smaller ones. And that'll help that all stick together, right? I'm going to show you. So it just depends how much tear and tape you feel you need. There's plenty on here, right? There's always plenty on here. And it's just easy to tear with your fingers, right? Hence, tear and tape would make it a lot easier for you. So we're going to do this here. And then the flap that's going to go underneath the front flap, we're going to put some tear and tape on it. Okay? So we're just going to do this right here. Alright, so got those there. And again, go back and see where you're going to go. This is the front, so I want this flap to go backwards. So I'm going to put the tear and tape here. Now it may seem like overboard, but you know what? The last thing I want to do is to bring this to people in a senior living facility or assisted living facility, either or, and have their goodie bag that I have for them fall apart, right? So just do it. It's in the box so you can do it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I already know. You just want to get this from the end down here. Just get the white part off here. This double-sided tape, so just do it right here. Can't get on one and go the other. I do have a pick tool I can use too. Alright, so I'm going to make this right here, and I got to do this side, which I can go ahead and do this one if I want, but it's easier if you just go ahead and get them off, right, and get them both done. So I'm going to do it right here with this one here. Okay, so you can see part of the box is forming up right there. Okay, then I am wrong. Okay, I was thinking I had to go right there with that. It's going to be one of those kind of days, and it's okay. And if I didn't want it to come off, it would come off. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there for the moment. Alright, I have to figure out what my opportunity for creativity is going to be to solve that. So I really should have had that higher. Okay. So this is a little different, right? Because when I normally make boxes, I make edge to edge goes together. This does not, so that's one thing you need to keep in mind. Granted, I made this like on Sunday. Okay, like I said, just like pretty obvious. So you see on here in the bottom, the two don't go from edge to edge, but we do it. Make sure it's covered on the inside, and you can just come back through here and stick your hand through here. So I'll most probably come and just put something else on the bottom since I already got the adhesive there and all. Okay, I don't know if they really would look in there to see, but anyway. So these easily collapse like this here to come over and make a nice little deal like this. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get for you on here. And we're going to do it with dimensionals. And I'm debating whether to put a little bit of ribbon. Let's see here. Got a little piece of scrap here. Let's see how that's going to look, if we're going to even like it. Because it's really almost too big, right? Because even if you put this on here, it's still sort of big, right? So I'm going to let it go. I know I really wanted to possibly use it. But I'm still going to have the gold foil, right? And I'm still going to have a flower. And let's see, we'll go ahead and put one in the center. Because the foil is easiest to stick in there. I'm going to go ahead and get this on here, and then we'll stick the foil in there. Okay. Now the other thing that we did on Sunday, when you look at the other one we did here, so this is up on here on dimensionals. They actually use dimensionals to close the bag. Now you may go on, well, what am I going to do if I got to stick something in there? Well, don't worry about it, because one thing is the dimensionals, they're easy sort of to tug off, so you could easily do that if you already did your envelopes. Or you did it without thinking about it, then that's fine. Just go do that. Just stick it back in there. Let's see what we got here. See if I can stick my leaves through here. So I wanted one leaf to come like right over here, but it's not going to work the way I really thinking I was going to work it, but that's okay. Right? So I do want to at least get the for you. So I'm going to use a glue dot right here to hold that on. So you're going to need a glue dot or something, right? So for me, I've got to make it into the nursing home, right? Or the assisted living, whichever one I'm going to. And it's got to be able to be intact when I get there, right? Yeah, I don't really want the glue showing and be sticky. And I already know that they're going to compare and make sure that whatever they get looks like what the person next to them has, right? Because that's important for them. So, you know, they see how you treat people and how you treat the person next to them, and they want to make sure they get the same thing. So like in mealtime, right? They all get the same thing. So we're just going to stick this in here, and I'm just going to put it right like here. I got my glue dot right there. Alright, so I can still move some leaves around if I want to, right? I can still tuck some under there. I can still move those there. If I want a glue dot to keep it in place, I can, right? Now the other one is I want to add this too, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to come in here and add it with a glue dot. Let's see here. But I want to make sure that I can see my gold. Okay, so I'm most probably going to trim this down just a little bit more because I want to be able to see the gold. Alright, so all I'm going to do is come around here, and I'm just going to trim it off like right here. Okay, now if it's still not enough, then you can trim some more, right? So that's all you gotta do is trim. Just keep on trimming. So I feel like Dory from Finding Nemo. Just keep on swimming, swimming. So see, I just didn't want to hide all the gold. What's the purpose of putting gold if you're going to hide it all? It's still going to sit up there and come down. Wait just a second. Ooh, how did I do that? I just did something that I don't know what I did. Okay, let's do that again. Oop. Okay, it just comes down like that. Okay, I just didn't have it down right at the top. Okay, so the main thing is I want to be able to see the gold as well as this here. I can always cut and flex the leaves. So if you want this to be a little bit more flexible, right, so you can fluff it if you want to, then all you have to do is take your scissors and come through here, and so that you have more flexibility, okay? So the deeper you're going to cut in, the deeper you're going to sit there and be able to flex that back. Now you just want to make sure you don't go so far you cut the flower off or the leaves off, right? So I'm just going to come around and do the same thing. Just a little bit. Same thing here. And then I'll just get that fluffed up for you, however you want to do it. So, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back here, and we're just going to add this on, okay? Right here. And we're just going to tuck that in again with a glue dot, just like we did the other. And I'm just going to do the base, okay? Because that allows me the freedom to go and move the flowers around. And that's what I really want to be able to do. So, if you don't know what you want to do, but you think you do, then I would at least give yourself the opportunity to do it, right? Because it's easier to do it now and then try to go and cut those leaves afterwards, which goodness knows I've most probably had to do that myself one time or two. Okay, and I'm just going to put it right here. And because I want to show you how nice that's going to look, I'm going to use 2 dimensionals here. And that's going to be below the flap, right? So I want to make sure it's below the flap right in here, because that's what's going to hold it down. And then when I go to put stuff in it, because I'm showing you this, I'll just lightly lift this off, and and I'll put the right there. Okay, so there you go. And this way, like I said, I've got it done like this. So this is easy then to either take your bone folder, your finger, or whatever, and you can sit up there and curl those leaves if you want to. So like I'm doing right now with my finger. But as I could do the bone folder, right? You can even use a pencil. It's just anything to help you do what you're trying to achieve. I can do the same thing with the foil behind it. And then I can see the same thing here. I can actually lift this up and come out. Alright? So it's whatever you want to do. Alright? The gold will do the same thing too. So there you go. We have our bag, which is, we just decorated it differently, right? And we added some. And then we had this right here too, the card to go with it. One of the last things I want to show you that you can do is, I have enough scraps here. Let's see here. Is come on the inside. You know, we're going to stamp and put a sentiment on the inside. Use your thin scraps. I'm trying to find the thinnest one I have. Okay, I got one right here. So it's very easy to come in and just add this at the bottom. I can do this with the glue dots. Or yes, the glue dots here. And it's just a scrap left over from me trimming off the envelope. But it just gives it a nice extra little touch. Liquid glue, you could have done this easily too. That doesn't come in your kit. But I just want to show you how easy this is. Okay, and that's just not, it's just beautiful paper, right? When I have beautiful paper, well, lots of times, really anything, because most paper is beautiful to me, it's just not, it's like we can't waste the beautiful paper. Everybody has to use every bit of that beautiful paper. So I'm just going to put it right down here for a nice little trim. And you know what? The thing is, we got the retreat coming up on the 28th, and we still have a few spots left if you're interested. There you go. And we'll put that out there for you so you have it, okay? So there we go. We have our bag and our card. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? We just had to add a couple of things to sit there and make that happen. We just rearranged stuff that was in the kit, added some cardstock and a little bit of ribbon, and that was it, right? So with that, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to join us for the retreat, just message me We also have the link out there on Adventurous Stamping, and we can put it out here as well too. We just have a few spots left, and we start with the challenges on Monday. Woo, woo. So we have pre-retreat challenges where people can win prizes, and we have door prizes too. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it. If so, be sure to follow us here on Facebook. We would love for you to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. And other than that, we look forward to seeing you next week with Teach Me Nana. Go out there, create, share, and give. And make a difference in someone's life, all right? Be blessed. And if you're not doing anything on October the 14th, we'll be at Independent Hill making cards for kids in the hospital for Thanksgiving and Christmas. All right. See you next week. Bye.